Hi, everyone, and welcome. I am super excited because today I am here at an awesome Airbnb in Wichita, Kansas, where I'm home visiting family. Today's topic is going to be what to do when weight loss stalls. So, if you've ever hit the dreaded plateau, we're going to talk about that in detail today. And I'm super excited because I've got some really great information for you. Okay. All the things that you want to think about when weight loss is slowing down. Um, okay. And if you are here watching me, please type in the comments. Let me know that you're here and let me know who it is so that I know what you're up to. Okay. Um, okay. So, what do you do in weight loss stalls? Couple of things to consider. First thing is, know weight loss has stalled. Excuse me. How do you know fat loss has stalled? Maybe weight loss has stalled, but that doesn't mean that fat loss has stalled. Here's what I mean by that. You can actually be losing fat, gaining weight at the same time. So I want to know what you're using as your indicator of stalled weight loss. If your indicator is your bathroom scale, I would be questioning that. Okay, because if you're in an exercise program and you're building up muscle mass, that and you could still be losing fat and putting on muscle mass, and your body's changing, but the scale might not be moving. Second thing that could be happening is you might be retaining water for some reason or another. So, oh, hi, Linda. Good to see you here. Thanks. So that's the question. How do you know if you're losing, if your weight loss is actually stalled? You need to have a body composition machine. So we have one in my office. Now, Linda, you said you're in Oregon. What you'll want to do is to go to body.com and see if you can find an in-body machine near you. I don't trust those home body composition machines very much. They might be better than the actual weight on the scale, but they're still probably not all that accurate. So if you can get access to an in-body machine, that would be best. The second best is what I call the pantsometer. So that is where you get a pair of pants that is not stretchy and preferably zipper or buttons or something. So you know for sure that your body is changing. If the pants are getting loose, you're losing fat. They're not going to get loose if you're not losing fat. So good option as well. So I would use those as much better indicators than your bathroom scale. Okay, so let's say that you have used a body composition machine and or your pantsometer, and you have discovered that you are indeed at a plateau and your body's not releasing fat anymore. What do you do then? Here are some common problems that I see happening. Especially when somebody comes in and they're like, I am working so hard and the scale is not budging. And what I invariably discover is that when they say they're working so hard, what is they are in the gym or they're exercising, maybe not in the gym in this day and age, but they're exercising a lot. So for example, they might be doing strength training in the morning and then going and doing cardio in the evening. And it turns out they're exercising like an hour and a half or 2 hours a day. That's too much exercise. Thing I want you to understand is that your body needs to know that you're going to feed it and that it's not under any stress before it will be willing to release fat. So if you stress your body out with too much exercise, you can really slow things down. Interesting, huh? So exercise. You want to exercise a half an hour to 45 minutes a day, and you want to alternate cardio and strength. You don't want to be over exercising. The other thing that happens for people when they're on these pretty strict regimented exercise programs is they get what I call the exercise halo effect. Now, I don't know if I made that term up or not, but that's what I like to call it. And what I mean by that is, ta-da, I exercised. That means it's either conscious or unconscious. I get to eat more, or I get to have that treat that I otherwise wouldn't allow myself to have because I exercised. Okay, that happens all the time. So over-exercising or the exercise halo might be causing your weight loss plateau. Next thing, alcohol intake. I did a Facebook Live on alcohol. Upshot is they have discovered that drinking alcohol goes straight to the liver for processing, and every molecule turns straight into a molecule of triglyceride fat in your liver. And so you can be doing a great job of losing fat and then drink alcohol and replace it all, which is a bummer, right? So does that mean don't drink at all? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you're drinking a glass or two of wine every night, that will definitely slow things down. I see it very consistently. So sometimes patients will say, okay, I'm going to switch that out for some herbal tea or something. They come next month, they're fat. It's really remarkable how alcohol will change for you, and stopping alcohol will really change things. That's the second thing, alcohol intake. The next thing is sleep. You got to be sleeping. You got to be sleeping like 7 or 8 hours at night, interrupted. If your body's not getting the sleep it needs, you're gonna have a fat loss plateau. Okay, so the next thing, there is a possibility of undiagnosed sleep apnea that can slow things down. So when is it time to think about that as a possibility? Well, if you have hypertension and if you snore, those are two good reasons to be thinking about sleep apnea. If you wake up with headaches, if you just feel like you're not getting restful sleep, if it's just like you feel like you're walking around in a haze and you're really groggy in the morning, you could have sleep apnea. And so that's something that you'll want to talk to your doctor about if you suspect that sleep apnea might be slowing things down for you. Next thing, unrecognized carb and sugar intake. This is so common. So, that candy bowl in the office that you pop over to at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, grab a few pieces of candy through the afternoon. That's going to spike your insulin level, and that's going to slow weight loss down. So what I recommend that you do, and that's just one example out of millions of examples I could give you of what happens to people. So you don't want to beat yourself up about it, but you do want to recognize that that will slow things down. So a lot of times people are very focused in the beginning. They know exactly what's going in. They're writing it. And then they start to get a little bit lax as they get some success under their belts, and they start to unconsciously allow themselves little treats. So again, write everything down. If in your mouth, it goes on the piece of paper or into your smartphone app, whatever it is that you're using to track things. And you might discover some unrecognized carb and sugar intake that's spiking your insulin and slowing weight loss down. Okay, so that's another reason. So number 5 here is stress. Okay, so stress, oh my gosh. We are under a lot of stress. We've got COVID stress. We've got homeschool stress. We've got Zoom stress. We might be having financial stress. We have had fire stress if you live on the West Coast. The hurricane stress. Who knows what's coming next stress? Maybe you're dealing with relationship stress. Maybe you're dealing with your own financial stress. Maybe you're dealing with grief. These kinds of stressful things raise our cortisol levels, and cortisol prevents fat loss, and cortisol causes fat gain. So if you're under stress, what do? Well, this is where it's time for some really good self-care. Okay, you want to make sure that you're getting the sleep that you need. Make sure you're getting the nutritious food that you need. Make sure you're getting some exercise in for stress relief, not for burning calories, but for stress relief. Make sure that you have a meditation practice or that your prayer, so that you're in consciousness that there's more going on than what we can see, and that there is overall well-being. That is an amazing thing. When you are a meditator, you feel that well-being. So that can be very helpful in dealing with stress, and that will help bring your cortisol levels down. Okay? The next thing that can be going on, the next 2 things I'm going to talk about are things you're going to need to talk to your doctor about, and particularly a weight loss specialist. If you need help finding a weight loss specialist, go to www.abom.org. That's www.abom.org. That's the American Board of Obesity Medicine. Click that says Find a Physician, Verify Credentials. And I see somebody else is joining. Hi. It doesn't say who it is. It just says Facebook user. So if you want to type your name or let Facebook know that you're here, who you are, that would be great. So find through abom.org that is board certified in obesity medicine. Now, why do I say that? Because you can have insulin resistance insulin resistance can really slow weight loss down. And a lot of times what will happen for people with insulin resistance is they'll lose 10 or 15 pounds and then everything just stops. And no matter what they do, even if there aren't some of these other things coming, no matter what they do, they have just stopped losing weight. And medications can help that. And so this is where it's really good to have an obesity medicine physician on your team who can recognize insulin resistance that might be slowing things down. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next thing is you may be on medication that cause weight gain that you don't really recognize are causing weight gain. Steroids are notorious. So if you're taking prednisone regularly for some reason or another, or there are some antipsychotic medications that people are taking for bipolar or for depression, that sort of thing. There are medications that are used for high blood pressure that can cause weight gain. So I'm always looking for that as a possibility. And this, again, is where you want to talk to your prescribing, because for many of these medications, not for all of them, but for many of these medications, there are alternates that you can use that do not cause weight gain. And I think that so many times healthcare providers are just prescribing medications. They're like, yeah, I know weight gain is a potential side effect, but it's not that big of a deal. Well, it is a big deal. If weight gain is a side effect of the medications that you're and there's alternates that don't cause weight gain, you should be on those ones instead. 300,000 people a year die from obesity in this country. We have got to take this disease more seriously, okay? So that is, and I'm on my soapbox now. So that is super, super important to understand. You don't want to be taking steroids on a basis unless they're absolutely necessary, okay? And then again, there are some of these other psychiatric medications that can really cause some weight gain. So awesome. So I'm looking to see if there are any comments here. I'm seeing lots of highs. Oh, great. Hi, Debbie. Lots of highs. That's very good. Again, if you don't recognize the background, I'm in Kansas at an Airbnb, and I'm visiting family. So it's been awesome. And type them in the comments if you're watching live, or later if you're watching later. Again, the things that I want you to think about are, number one, over-exercising. Number two is alcohol intake. Number three is sleep. How much are you sleeping? Re-listen to this. It will be posted. It will be posted in Facebook, and it will also be on YouTube as well. Number four is unrecognized carbs and sugar intake. Number five is stress, and we've got a lot of that these days. Number six is insulin resistance, and again, that's something that you'll need to speak with a medical professional about. If you're one of those people who can lose 10 or 15 pounds and then it just stops, insulin resistance can cause that, okay? And then any medications that you may be on that might be causing weight gain, you want to see if there's an alternate to that. So those are the major causes that I see of plateaus. I think the most common is over-exercising and unrecognized carbohydrate intake. Frankly, those are the most common ones. So, and those are things that you have control over. So do those things that you have control over. And if you have other questions, post them in the comments, and I'll come back and check periodically and see. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Okay, so thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. This has been tons of fun, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Take care.